What's good? This is your boy Tico Trent. I'm gonna talk about relationships and why they don't really flourish in this day and in 2019 or anytimes recent. The problem with relationships that people keep on forgetting is relationships take time and effort. If you don't put the effort into it, you basically reap what you sow from it, if you know what I mean. That's the problem that I have with today's relationships. Like, motherfuckers is running off, getting married after knowing somebody for a couple months or a couple weeks or, a couple days or, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. Because I've always said, you don't fully know a person until you've actually been with that person for about, I would say on minimum 2-3 years. Legit. So, there'll be a whole lot of quirks and surprises that pop up in, year 2, year 3. And this is the thing that I've always said about relationships. You can't just rush into shit and hope for the best. That's just wishful fucking thinking. That is the problem with I've seen with relationships and marriages and stuff like that, where people have been together for, a month or two, and, bitches is talking about, he ain't popped the question yet. Bitch, you only been together for a month or two. Y'all can barely y'all barely know what each other's favorite things are. You talk about marriage and engagement and shit like that. That's the problem that bothers me. You can't just rush some shit that still needs work. Just because you put a ring on it, that don't mean it makes it better. Only thing it makes it better is for women when they get a divorce. That's it. That is fucking it. It makes it better for women when they get a divorce. That is about it. It's very rare if a person got a divorce. It's very rare if a woman gets a divorce where she doesn't come out any type of good, basically, from the relationship, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it makes me sick to see all these people I met online and we've only been talking in real life. We've been talking online for about X amount of years and we met in person and now we're getting married. How long y'all knowing each other in person? Oh, y'all have only met 2 times in person. Now y'all getting married. Holy shit. This is going to be a divorce waiting to happen. And it's just shit like that. People just make rash decisions or rash mistakes. You can't meet somebody online. The problem with meeting somebody online is you're meeting it's kind of like a woman. You're basically meeting a representative online. You won't actually get to see their daily routine and their daily lives and their monotony in their life, basically, because they're online, so you don't get to see it. That is the problem that I have with people. And the funny thing about it is, people always try to, emphasize dating online. Dating online actually sucks. Dating online, period, actually sucks. Because you actually don't know the person on the other end of the computer that you're actually dating. Half the times, motherfuckers is being catfished. Let that shit sink in. But yeah, and it's just shit like that makes it, impossible for me to actually want to ride 100% with people, or, the crazy convoluted ideas that people come up with on why they should be married right now and why he's taking too long and this, that, and the other, and you should leave him because she didn't pop the question yet. Bitch, you only know the man for 3 weeks or 2 months or 3 months. I'm gonna need you to settle the fuck down for at least 6 months, okay? 6 months is even too soon for me because I couldn't marry somebody in under 6 months. And that's the thing that I've noticed about people. They do and say the most dumbest shit in the world. And they're always quick to make a rash decision, but then later regret the decision. But then, if you're a woman, you tend to come out on top from the decision somehow, some fucking way, which makes no fucking sense to me. Which is kind of weird. But yeah, that's typically the problem that I have with it, because, people don't really put in the time and effort and the proper attention to their relationships to actually make their relationship grow and produce fruit, if you know what I mean. Not fruit as in children. I'm talking about produce fruit as in become an actual full-blown, blooming, beautiful relationship. People want the instant gratification. They'll meet somebody, they'll be like, we should get married. No, bitch, I don't even know you. I barely knew you then, and I barely know you that. Well, we had sex. Okay, yeah, you having sex with me is not me knowing you. Well, you knew me intimately. Okay, I don't know you personally, though. I know you intimately, but I don't know you personally. That is the problem. Because people always want to rush into shit, and having sex doesn't really mean you know somebody. That just means you just had sex. That's all that fucking means. Not that it's a bad thing, but you just had sex. That's all you fucking did. You ain't get to know the person. You just basically proceeded in the act. That's all you really did. And that's the thing that I've always had a problem with. People getting married after having sex. No relationship, but getting married after just having sex. Or people getting married after knowing people for only 3 weeks or 3 months and shit like that. And it's just shit like that just makes me annoyed. That annoys me. Because people aren't necessarily taking the time to get to know people, and they're trying to rush the whole entire fucking process because they're trying to, especially women when they hit a certain age, they rush the hell out of the process, because when they hit a certain age, it's basically like crunch time. So it's like, we got to get married, we got to get married, we got to have kids, we got to have kids, we got to get married, we got to get married, we got to have kids, we got to have kids. And that's basically a woman's thought process, basically, when she's actually in her 30s or rounding her 30s, is, gotta get married, gotta have kids, gotta have kids. It's like a crackhead, looking for I need a hit. They're just shaking and shit like that inside. Basically, it's basically how they actually look. Whereas their outside appearance may look cold, calm, and collected, but their inner appearance is like, fuck, I'm getting old, I'm hitting the wall, this and the other. They're going crazy inside, but they try to portray this cool, calm, and collective exterior. And that is the problems that I have with that. And so they tend to rush things along a lot faster than they need to go. Then they wonder why they're divorced or they're breaking up, and then they want to blame the guy. No, first off, you're the one that rushed this relationship. I'm willing to bet, and never in the history of humandom have a guy says, we should get married. I'm willing to bet that's never happened. I mean, it's probably happened, but I'm willing to bet that it hasn't happened that often where a guy, said we should get married. And that's the thing that I've noticed about the shit, because guys will wait to see, get to know people better, or, get a full feel for people. If you let a guy actually do what a guy wants to do, he'll actually wait to get to know a person a lot better, then eventually marry the person, if you know what I mean. Whereas a woman would be like, okay, we had sex twice, we should get married, or, bitches is talking about moving in and shit after date 3 and date 4, or knowing each other for a month or 2, it's just shit like that. And I've never really quite co-signed on shit like that. If I don't know you, and we barely know each other, then we shouldn't move in together. Because I've always looked at it like this. If we haven't met each other's families, and I don't mean mom, dad, I mean actual families, we shouldn't move in together at all. If we haven't invited each other to family member weddings and shit like that, or family functions and shit like that, and I don't mean mom and dad's family function, I mean family functions, then we shouldn't get married. That's my whole entire thoughts on the whole entire thing. And that's what bothers me about the whole entire topic. And I don't quite understand why everybody's in a hurry to do this shit. Well, I understand why women are in a hurry to do this shit. But, if you're a man, you're never really in a hurry to get married. It's one of those things where it's I guess we oughta should, for a man. Whereas it's for a woman, well, we did this, we should do this, we should do this, we should do this, we should do this. And it's basically her telling you what we should do. It's never, what do you think we should do? It's what she thinks we should do, basically, when it comes to a woman. It's never what we should do. What do you think we should do? Or what do you think of this idea? What do you think of that idea? It's basically her ideas being forced onto you if you're a guy. So, if you're a guy, don't rush shit. Take your time. Wait it out a little bit to see and get a feel for people. The irony to it is, a woman is basically rushing you for 2 reasons. Either her biological clock is ticking, or her representative is starting to wear thin. The representative thing is, in the biological clock, I'll touch on more in another video after this, basically. So, yeah.